Broadcast live.
Chop up my fans. Yeah. Ilentim bekhanyisa uScrooge. Qithu trola simsul. Keep on gonna hunt endlini ebusuku ngefestel. Ilentim bekhanyisa uScrooge. Qithu trola simsul. Keep on gonna hunt endlini ebusuku like asiphili impilo. I'm G meaning I can do this all day.
Hey, yo, what's up?
What's up, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I hear you complaining about the love songs.
B, I'm like, what the hell is going on with you guys? Like,
I knew Speedsta had a lot of, like, Speedsta does a lot of R&B. And I was like, well, not R&B, he said it's soul, trap soul. So I also put in a few songs just in case, you know. You can't go love song and then I go party. You know, we had to balance it out.
And it's not a mixing session. All we were asking for was just like, take us back, you know, let us remember why you are Speedsta. Let us remember why you are Dimplez, you know. You guys are literally trying to sell yourselves to us, you know. Come on,
Bet It All was actually one of my biggest songs, funny enough.
Is it?
Yeah.
But y'all just never stopped then, yeah? Even y'all guys were even consulting with each other, like, yo, how about another one? Another one.
Nah, I only played one R&B song. I literally only have one R&B song. Yeah, it was just cool, man. Sometimes it's nice to go over a song, like people assume you're this kind of DJ, but you also can show that you've made an R&B classic, for example, you know?
Yeah.
And that's literally, I knew Speedsta was going to play one of those, and I said, okay, cool. Let me also play that. But there's a lot of songs we could have gone through still, man, so it was fun.
Who came up with the idea to kind of do this? And why didn't you guys give it like a little bit more time? It's like you announced it the morning and you just went live with it in the evening.
You sleeping, Slikour, you sleeping. We announced it at like 12 o'clock at night. And so you woke up to it, basically.
Oh, so I missed 6 hours.
Yeah, people aren't sleeping, man. That's when the internet is alive these days.
I get it. I get it, but like, you know, one of the things that gets things out there, if I look at even the Gemini thing and Tweezy, they literally like allowed us to all think about it. You know, we saw it and we kind of literally said, okay, we're going to schedule it in our heads, you know. So you guys literally like,
yeah.
It was in one of the posts, you know what I mean? It's, okay, Speedsta and Dimplez are on one of the posts. Then like you go, but like these guys, they gave a time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, for myself and Speedsta,
we still got 19 days in this lockdown.
Myself and Speedsta actually decided on the Thursday that we're gonna do it. I think after the Tweezy thing, so it must have been a Friday. And we said we'd do it, and next minute I saw a flyer that said Sunday, and this was Saturday night. So we said, let's just post it after. I think he had his radio show Saturday night, so we posted it after.
No, so you were also caught by surprise.
No, the date, I thought it was going to be Monday, but it ended up being Sunday. But it's all good. We did what we did.
From the joints that you're playing, I mean, I was just saying earlier on that, like, you know, you had things like where people kind of forget that, you know. I feel that as a DJ, there's almost like a new audience online, right? So as much as you go to a club, right, and you know what you're going to play for a club, you know what you're going to play for a festival, there's almost like a new audience for this live thing, you know what I mean? And you got to know what you're going to play for them, you know. Have you thought of it that way?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was definitely the underdog, man. I almost quit because, like, not quit, but I mean, I was almost down because of the amount of negativity on social media. Like, this nigga's gonna get his ass whooped. But inside, I sort of knew that, yo, we've been doing this for a while, man. And I also watched the other guys from the States when they were doing their lives. And a lot of songs that hit were actually their older songs because people forgot about it. So
That's
yeah, man. So yeah, I was the underdog, but I mean, it was fun. At the end of the day, it was literally about being part of this whole thing about promoting the game as a whole, more than the actual competition, you know? And that's why
yeah.
myself and Speedy did it. It was fun, literally. It was like, dog, let's do it.
But you see, that's why I think that like I'm imagining look, I probably live in my own world. I'm imagining that like moving forward, people are gonna like get like they're gonna jump on platforms like Twitch. You know, I don't know if you know Twitch, it's like the
Yeah.
gaming platform. They're gonna literally
Mm.
sign up on platforms like Twitch, and where you can actually plug in and your sound is clear and you're playing from my home and you got a whole set and I'm watching you, you know. I
Yeah,
think
no
that like,
doubt.
all of a sudden you literally need to start like considering what you are playing for the people that are watching you, which is actually something that no one has really. It wasn't on top of our heads. And I don't know whether as a DJ you guys think of what is the future of DJing looking like.
We definitely do, dog. Like, even the whole, what was that thing? What do they call it when they did the whole Brenda Fassie concert thing? That,
When they did like the Tupac thing,
yeah, the Tupac, the Brenda thing. I definitely think that's the future.
the
People,
hologram.
yeah, dog. Like, people are going to be DJing in countries that are like, you know what I'm saying? I really, really thought of that like a long time ago, is that the game could end up being that you literally DJ from a little studio made for like a presentation that can be put in another club. You know what I mean? And people literally, club owners literally pay you to broadcast into their clubs. I definitely think that's the future.
But don't you think that like yesterday's what you guys were doing yesterday, even to some extent with Gemini, I mean, it's the beginning of where this thing is going because you know
Yeah,
things only work if like it's almost like you're only dope or you're only a great artist if you've got like 10 million streams. You know, you could have wax songs, but you only start feeling like you're dope when you got 10 million streams. When you look at the type of engagement this thing is getting, um, it's the beginning of it. You know what I mean?
and what about stuff like the safety measures? You don't have to be on the road as much, drinking and driving. There's like so many things that we're always going to direct music this way, but like I think as a country we still have a long way to go when it comes to the internet. So it's definitely going to go this way, and it's been done. I mean, these things have been happening. You know what I'm saying? It's just that in our country it was never like a real thing. But now that we all forced to quarantine, now everybody's looking at the world and like, yo, what's going on? I was saying the other day, I was shouting out Major League, and I was like, think about it. Major League has been doing this. Yes, it wasn't a live thing, but they went online and started dropping their mixes. Those guys are hitting like 300,000 views like in a couple of days, you know? So online was always going to be the way, but definitely this quarantine thing just made it like okay, guys, we don't have a choice. Let's go.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We're gonna just see like a virtual pop bottles.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just saying, you know, you because you know when you start doing things like the Twitch thing, it's almost like becomes a thing where people actually at your crib, literally you can still buy a ticket, but like here's a voucher for you to jump in if you've kind of purchased, and then you have this crazy lineup, and obviously your sponsors sign up. You could still get sponsors. I mean, right now they're talking about in-house drinking, you know, like. Um, but like we're gonna be giving too many
But
ideas right now.
yeah, but I mean, I could give you all my proposals, and you'd see that this thing is like, if you really knew in inventing, you would have thought about this thing a long time ago, and we definitely thought about it a while ago, you know. So but like I said, everybody's being forced to do it now, and now all of a sudden there's like a huge rush to do all these events online, but slowly but surely, the quality ones will stay for longer.
Let me ask a question. Do you think that do you think having a paid event like literally is like what we're doing now? Because it's easy. You guys are doing your own events right now. It's like when you're a rapper or a DJ and you start doing pop bottles and no one is paying you. Do you think that we're gonna get to a point where like a brand kind of pays and goes, you know what, let's do a paid event for this shit? You know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, they're already doing it. You can see some of these, um, um, what's that Tory Lanez thing? There's already sponsors being plugged in heavy, you know. It's just the start, man. I think everybody's head is everywhere, and the game is sort of changing. And if you're not adapting, you might just fall off. I'm not saying that this is definitely the direction that the game's gonna go, but I think for now, this is what we're looking at. And a lot of brands are also sitting in their offices wondering, what can we do? Well, how can we be relevant in this time, you know? So I think a lot of brands are going to be looking at what the kids, what everybody's doing on the net and trying to buy in.
I guess, you know, it was going to come because the human experience has moved from watching television and going, I'm seeing Andy Ngube and I'm like, oh, he's a superstar on television, which he is. Take, for instance, he's a TV star, right? It's almost like the human experience is moving and going, oh, okay, so so-and-so is also doing sports on their social page. So I fucks with him and they start like, and like that guy has his own fan craze literally like on social media, you know? So you're going to see it. It seems like music is almost like the runt, you know, it's like the last born.
Yeah.
And soon like people are going to start going, you know, let me start listening to everything online and start having these shows online, because it's almost like music now is going to be the superstar in the world of online and live, where pictures, food bloggers, you know, like slay queens, you know, all this other shit has become the superstars outside television onto social. It's like music now is probably gonna get to that point without even being on a streaming platform, you know?
I mean, it's basically something as if you look at when a J Molly posts something on social media, have you seen the numbers? Or when Costa Tish puts up a video on YouTube, have you seen the numbers? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally a whole new market that's born into this digital thing, and they are killing it, bro. So yeah, these brands need to jump on that real quick.
I mean, but you see, besides that, I mean, it's just, I think it's channels. Television is still very important. Like eventing is gonna still be important once we get back to that. Like digital is gonna be important. So it's like channels. It's not like any one of them literally makes anyone lesser. You know what I mean? So, you know, J Molly might have their audience and Costa, but there's an audience that like someone else who's not like popping on social is got. So it's like identifying those three channels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you probably forgot. Like a few years ago, I think it was like 2016, we used to broadcast pop bottles live on Facebook. But that didn't work obviously because they cut songs based on record labels or whatever, you know. There's a lot of paperwork that goes behind the copyright. But this thing, my point is, it's been happening, bro. It's been happening, it's been running. But we are stuck now with we don't have a choice, you know. TV is very relevant. 90% of this country still relies on TV for information.
Radio.
Yeah, radios, people still rely on radio for information. So you literally as an artist need to balance everything. You need to be very active online. You need to be still plugging in with the radio stations. You need to be doing your TV interviews just to remain in people's faces and people's minds.
Check it out. I mean, you're working with Faith K. You know, I can imagine you as a label manager sitting there, or at least, well, whatever the relationship is, as a mentor, but just sitting there and going, yo, Faith, on social, you got to talk like this. You can be yourself, you know. Like you got to be consistent with that. When you get to radio and you get to Kozi FM, you must speak like you can't. You can be yourself, but you have to be yourself within their realm. You know what I mean?
I had to learn, man. Yo, I remember our first interview on Speedsta show, I think it was. Because they are friends, Speedsta and Faith K are friends, it became like a normal conversation, and then you forget like you can't use certain words, you know. But it's exactly that. You can be yourself online. Online allows you to do that. But in spaces like TV and radio, you gotta adapt, man. Like some interviews are tougher than others, you know. If you're doing a I don't know, Ukozi interview, you know it's going to be a Zulu interview, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? So you need to adapt to those sort of things, and you need to watch your words as well. Some words are more disrespectful on other platforms than they are on others.
And I mean, and you do talk about like television, where you know, you also gotta, like when you're on a show, let's say like Idols, take for instance, you know, where, or even Live Amp or whatever, where everything is so glossy, you gotta also fit the gloss, right? So you can, so at home on your social, people love you when you look natural, like the girl next door, whatever the case be, you know, and you just woke up and you're posting about your reality. And then sometimes you can literally post up like some shit where you look super pretty, but on TV, it's only, you gotta literally identify the show, like, yo, everything looks glam there, I can't look half-ass. You know what I mean?
The queen of that is Cardi B. She kills that. Her whole brand is based on that idea. I mean, that's crazy. I saw your interview with Gigi Lemaine as well. It's true, dog. There's just some places where, or some interviews, even if it's online, some interviews you take more seriously than others, and you go out of your way to dress up, look appealing, you know? So it is at your own discretion, but TV is still a place where you play it safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, you know. And you know, I feel a certain way for artists, some artists, because, to be honest with you, I mean, I say it for myself, you know. I think it's just so difficult for me to fit in TV, and be what TV wants me to be. I mean, even if I'm doing an interview with like Spare Names, where I have a relationship with the guys, it's difficult for me to be super radio friendly, you know, without me really being myself, you know what I mean? And I've had that challenge even when I was in squatter camp, where like the guys would be like, oh, bruh, just no, you know what I mean? So it's a difficult thing to trade. And I think the guys that do it well, people don't understand what it takes. You know, I was seeing Casper on TikTok this morning dropping some pastor, what. But people don't understand that, like, for him to be relevant on TikTok, he needs to put on another persona. For him to be relevant on Instagram, he needs to be another persona. For him to be on television, it's almost these 4 or 5 different personalities that when people go at the game, you end up not knowing who you are, because you end up not knowing who you are, because you always have to put up these different now they introduce it to a brand, and like you say, this is the guy who's paying, who's sponsoring you. Now you gotta like be the celebrity that like that charms the brand person, you know. It's fucking crazy.
I just got on TikTok, and I'm literally sitting on 2 followers because of what you say. Because of what you're saying, is because you need to be able to place yourself in certain positions. And Casper's brilliant at that shit. You know what I'm saying? He can switch up like this. He can go. I've seen Casper speak corporate, which is something that people haven't seen. Like Casper talking business, you know, in terms of when it comes to the music side. And for him to go on TikTok and all of a sudden be an actor, now you're thinking, is Casper going to be on Generations real soon? You know what I mean? Like, you never know these things. But you,
sorry, and
so you need to literally adapt. And the biggest artists are able to do that. Even like something as simple as a music video, being able to put on that scene and make it as like for that specific show is not something that's easy. I suck at that shit. Hence why I'm hardly ever on my music videos. but it's something that I know I'm gonna have to work on. Even 15 years in my career, I know for a fact I need to work on those types of things. I need to work on TikTok, getting out of my comfort zone. I'm pulling off a brand that still relates to me. It's still DJ Dimplez there, but I fit in, you know what I'm saying? And that's very important.
Sure. I mean, someone says they pay money to see you do the 2C slide. They,
I just
you can
saw
get a
this.
couple. Yeah,
I'll do it if
just
you
get in the
follow me
way.
on TikTok. I'll do it if you follow me on TikTok. I put up the craziest videos sometimes. Sometimes I just lose it. This quarantine thing, what is it? Day 12, day 11. What are we on? Are we
Yeah,
halfway yet?
I think we're on day 11, so we got 10 more days
So we're
left,
halfway. No, this thing is going to be extended, but
I believe.
um, we're going crazy, some of us, man. Us entertainment guys. So I'm going to be posting some crazy ass videos. Just look out for it.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, yeah, yeah. So it's crazy though. Like I'm saying, like it's a real thing. What you're saying is real. I'm thinking, there's a bunch of things that I want to do, that I want to post, and I'm like, but you know what's dope though is that like it's almost like you have no inhibitions now with the social with like this lockdown, right? So
Mm.
I like me, I started doing these COVID mixes where I've always been collecting music, and I always like did my own tapes. I never wanted to be a DJ, but like I just never had the time to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I'm just, it's just like getting out of your inhibitions and doing that type of shit. But I think I'm also gonna follow you on TikTok soon because I got the app. That's TikTok. TikTok is winning during this lockdown.
Yeah, definitely. They are winning. They even opened an office here in SA. So Sketchy Bongo is in that office. So if people know Sketchy, hit him up.
So Sketchy's out there working for TikTok.
Yeah. I don't know if
Oh,
that was
okay.
supposed to be public knowledge, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
he is.
I mean, shit, people even know who he is because he's always got a mask also. So that's another conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
So with this evolving, I mean, and being liquid in the game, what does it do for brands? Pop Bottles is a brand, um, like what does it do for you as a brand? Like, how do you need to kind of future proof like Pop Bottles? You got
Um,
yourself as a DJ to think of, and that, and other
yeah, with
things like
Pop
that.
Bottles, like I said, that thing has always been, it's always been in our conversation, even when we're talking as a team, that adaptation is key. And I think we sort of adapted. Right now, we're running a campaign where it's literally just about, we know people at home, we know people, some people are going through a lot, and people need hope for what's going to happen after this quarantine. So we've got this thing that we're calling Pop Bottle School of Events, where we call on experts such as yourself. Hopefully, you'll do your videos soon. And we just give out information just to let people know that there are other things you can do within events. You can learn other things. It's not too late to learn anything. If you want to get into PR now, you can learn to get into PR. There's platforms now on the internet where you can do a short-term course. You know what I'm saying? So like there's so many things you can do during this period to make sure that when it all ends, you can improve. So from our side, we've basically looked at our online platforms and said, how can we remain active within this period? And
Mhm.
looking forward, how can we grow this platform that we've made and either make it into a show, make it into a tour, make it into whatever. So like we're always trying to think beyond what is now. Pop bottles is always going to adapt, just like pop cars is going to adapt into something else that people are going to see really soon. Um, you always got to think ahead. You can't just relax on what you have right now.
Mm-hmm. Look, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send you some stuff that I'm also gonna be dropping soon. Since I checked the school that you guys are opening, it's
Yeah.
just eventing, but mine is more also just like influencer tips, you know, like I think there's going to be a big surge of influencers soon in the markets, you know,
They're
and
already busy as is.
yeah, yeah. And I think that, you
Yeah,
know, it's going to be the guys that know what to do. Some guys know, some guys don't know. I mean, I keep seeing people even on this feed saying, how do I get on? How do I? But the point is that, like, you know, right now, no one can put you on. You just need to just keep working and just grow your
yeah,
audience. And they even have tools that see what people post. So I'm going to be posting that. I'm gonna be posting that soon on my social feed also. I got like 3 or 4 episodes on it. It was shot by my son because we had the crib, you know what I mean? So like it's just like
nice. I see
like
you.
yeah, you know, it's like influencer
Yeah,
tips that we're getting out there to everybody. So
so
I'll share that. And if you guys see any value, man, no pressure, you can post it on your platform too. You know what I mean?
definitely do that, bro.
Yeah, you know, that could be my school on what's happening. Cause yo man, the game gonna be real soon, and
Yeah,
kids need to know that this is gonna be digital is gonna be where they gonna start off their careers, or digital is gonna help them invest in how far they want to go.
definitely.
Yeah, you know. So B, that's dope, man. I mean, like you've been much of an inspiration for a lot of cats. I mean, including like like Speedsta yesterday. He was just saying that, like, you know, you really have been the guy that is kind of looked to, you know, from a level of just being where you are. What are you seeing mostly from the new DJs, and who do you think really has got potential to really grow? I mean, I don't know how you see that in a DJ. You know what I mean? Is it their work ethic, their hunger, how well they mix? I don't know. How do you see that?
That's a difficult one. I think there's a lot of DJs that are in my circle that I can see and I can really see potential, like your Uncle Party Times. Um, there's a lot, man. Double D is still young. I think Double D is 21 or 22. Um, there's a lot of DJs that I can see really growing their brand.
Mm.
Excuse me. So what was your question again?
I was
Who do
just
I
saying,
see?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, more than anything, it has to be beyond just playing well. Over the years, we've seen some dope DJs come and go. They were brilliant. They played well. But keeping your brand active is something else. Spreading your brand into different fields, you know what I'm saying, is something that people need to think about. Just DJing now, I don't think it's the sort of industry that you can really live. Like that house that you're dreaming about, you're not going to get it alone of DJing. There's a lot of stuff that you'd have to do. So people kind of fall away as time goes on. So right now, I see Party Time, I see Double D. There's just too many. I see Wobbly. There's just
Mm,
so many around the country spread out that are all gonna, like, Cape Town DJs are incredible, man.
mm,
So they could end up being the next biggest DJs in this country. No one knows. Nobody knows, you know? It's just a matter of just putting in the work and making sure you grow your brand and you don't just rely on playing the music.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you got to do more.
I saw on the yesterday on the feeds, like you got a message from the Pop Bottles page, and they said you don't have to come to work. Are you making your people work during this time?
Uh, no, man. Everybody's off, man. Everybody's working from home, but we're running business as per usual. You know, at least we got different platforms to
Mm.
talk and just make sure we're always working. But yeah, Mondays generally are my day off. It's literally my only day off of the week. But now, well, we free, right?
Yeah, 21 days off.
Yeah, 21 days off. Well, we're still working, but I mean, I don't have to get up and go to the office at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now being, I was just catching up with you, man. You know, I know we had a chat a balcony, but like I just wanted to catch up on yesterday's events, you know, and
Yeah.
and I always know something's going to come out that someone needs to hear when we chat. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're not gonna ask me about the Boss Zonke thing? I thought I'd explain it on the next show.
Let's clear the
I
post
thought I'd
thing,
explain
please. Yeah, let's
it.
clear the
So
post
like
thing.
the Boss Zonke thing. So the way I see it, right? If you're gonna do a platform like this, there really needs to be a story behind certain things. And I felt like when you watch like another battle, like the producers, they'll drop a song and it's like co-produced, you know? So it's not just them, there's another producer, there's always somebody else in the picture. And with something like Boss Zonko, we went to studio to go make a song for me. So Boss Zonko was made for me. And we decided that, okay, cool, Ricky, you drop the song, you know? Well, Ricky decided that he was going to drop the
Who
song.
made it for you? As in like the beat or like
No,
projection?
no,
What you mean?
the production. So basically, it was myself, um, obviously Ricky and Ganja Beats, but we're making a song for me. Do you understand? And the thing is, I even called Ricky before this. I'm like, dog, do you think I should? No, no. But the point of it was the story behind it. It wasn't to say, that's why I said after that, I even said before, like, yo, this is not my song. I just want to let you guys know that I was a part of this shit, you know? And then I dropped it. So it was just part of the story. That's why after the song, I was like, all right, guys, don't count it. Let's not count it, you know, because I knew I had ammo coming through. Yeah.
No, no, you know what? My thing was that you guys are busy discussing the rules, like during the mix. I'm like, but like,
Because
guys,
there
is
are
this?
no rules. There
Yeah,
are
no,
no rules if you think
there must
about
be
it.
rules. For me, it must be
How?
everything that you've done. You know what I mean? It must be
Yeah.
everything that you've done. So I agree with the Boss Zonke point. As in like, it's something that you've done. It's a credit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You got your name on it. You know what I mean? So my thing is that like, it's yours, man. You know what I mean? But I guess the only thing that killed it is that you are explaining it. And
I
even
had
Speed
to. Like,
and Speed was like, yeah, no, anything, yeah, you could. Then you play it, and then he goes, but
no, we're just having fun, man. I mean, I think a lot of DJs go through this actually. Like, a lot of DJs will work on music and eventually it gets decided that actually the artist must drop. So a lot of the time, people don't realize like where and how the song came about. I mean, that song is Pop Mapodlela Pop Champagne. You know what I mean? It was directed at me, you know? But
yeah, that's the story. Yeah,
yeah, so like I just wanted that story to come out and I even asked Ricky, I said, Ricky, should I drop the story or not? He was like, yeah, dog, you know, do it, let people know. And that's exactly why I did it. It wasn't you know, people saw it like, "Hey, this one, he's pulling out a stance," you know? And that's why I was like quick to say, actually, that doesn't count. I just wanted to tell you guys a story.
thanks for the PR out there. That was a smart move to drop that. You kind of checking out your lifeline and you're going, but how am I going to tell people I was involved in that shit?
Yeah, I mean, shout outs to Ricky, man. He's a real G. When I told him, he was like, damn, dog, of course, do it, you know? Where other
Yeah,
people would have been like, nah, don't do that, you know? Um, yeah, that was pretty
yeah.
cool. It was pretty fun.
Shout out, man. That was dope. That was dope, man. Look, we're looking forward to more. We're looking more forward to the evolution of Popcast. You can't share that right now.
Um, I can't share the specifics, but what a lot of people ask for, like a lot of people always want also the artist opinion. So there's something that's going to be associated. So it's definitely not fair that us as the four can, well, not us, sorry, I keep saying us, as the four guys on the show, um, if they have an opinion, but the artist doesn't get to reply about what they feel or get to explain themselves, you know? And that's the growth of where Popcast is gonna go.
Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. All right, B. That's so good, man. I mean, like, let's keep doing this damn thing, B. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shout out, man. Shout out to you for doing this. How many more artists do you have?
As in, like, to speak to.
Yeah,
I mean, we running this, man. This is COVID-19. It's just the challenge has been finding out how do we integrate like guys that aren't established. You know, it's just like we're struggling to find that balance. You know, because I know people want to get on, but this is a live thing. It's an internet thing. You know, I mean, it can't be the two of us speaking. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I mean, that has really been the challenge. It's how do we get like get guys who don't have like a huge following on where you know when you're at least doing like a spotlight or you're doing like a discover or something, you already know that like you know to be on the internet. If guy blows up and guys drives people like we got guys like King Sweet Kid where I think that like is a real dope dude, you know. We should
yeah,
be doing this, but like it's like you know what are the numbers like? But I don't mind definitely covering him, showing him the love that he needs to get. You know, there's a lot of guys, you know, which we should be going live with, but it's all about like how many people are engaging on the platform because it kind of loses its value if you
yeah.
just if everybody just jumps on, and that's a real thing also, you know. So, but I'm always thinking of the up and coming artists, even if I don't have a solution. Speedsta's like,
Yeah.
I'm straight now, just ate.
Speedsta just woke
hangover.
up.
The hangover was bad this morning.
Yeah,
So
man. Shout
feeling
out,
the pain.
shout out to you for this, dog. I think a lot of people would be chasing numbers and only going for like the big artists and whatever, but the amount of work the team does and that page that you guys have, your Slikour Life, that thing goes a long way, bro. So shout out to you, man. I think a lot of um and you were probably when you went online with this thing, like a lot of people didn't see your what you envisioned, you know. So it's dope to see it come alive now that everybody's now fully focused on the internet. Now you are running this thing, and please shoot that documentary, dog. Like, please, dog. If you want me to go down and pray and ask God, you know, like, yo, we need a SA hip hop documentary, and you need to direct that shit with all the footage that you've kept over the years. Please, man, please, please.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
beg, I beg.
We're gonna get that, you know. I mean, you know, here's another
You've been
challenge
saying that
also.
for 4 years, bro.
You know, there's a lot, you know, there's a lot, and there's not enough capacity also. You know what I mean? And like, you know, I mean, I'm also thinking, like, you know, I asked you about pump bottles, but like, because we can have this conversation, it's like it's the same things I'm thinking about with Slick on Life. It's like, you know, for me, more than just evolving with content, it's like evolving with technology. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, I was always saying to everybody, why should I be on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter? Because essentially those are other people's platforms that are doing well, right?
yeah,
And then they become my master, right? So I'd
yeah,
rather work in collaboration with them, even if they don't know that I'm working in collaboration with them, where I have my own platform and I literally use their platforms to share my news, to drive people back to my platform. So a big thing for me is it's just evolving with technology. But like what people don't understand is that like my I don't want to say my biggest competition, but the guys that like literally are doing what I'm doing are like companies like Vice, you know, like Apple Music, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Those are the guys that are doing what I'm doing, and those guys have got mad ass dough. You know, I mean,
yeah,
from an ideas perspective, we probably a little bit more progressive with some of these guys, but we don't have that global dollar dough. You know what I mean? So the only thing that's also going to keep us on like existing is with technology evolving because being cool is cool, and being respected is whatever, you know. Like, it's anyone can stay in do the same thing for years and get respected, but the technology has to evolve, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, that's been a big, before this corona thing happened, has been a big plan for me for the next like 12 months. You know, I really want to evolve and do something special with the technology on the platform. So that is what my focus is on, less content and well, I'm thinking of content, but I'm not thinking of documentary, because I'm thinking, when I think of documentary, I'm like, it's not special to me, you know, it's nothing new. You know, maybe someone else has to do the documentary around the work, but that's not new for me. It's not innovative, it's not changing. So many people have done documentaries. What's gonna make mine special?
But
Do you know what I mean?
SA hip hop requires one with as much and in-depth information as possible, and there's only one person that has that.
Well, I think that
So
also another person is Osmic. So it's like it's the collaboration of those two worlds, you know, where and we all good, you know. It's a conversation of those two worlds where Osmic and I kind of get together with the right people, and we just we put the money down. But you know, our people want a like, it's like, if Slick on Life has done so much, right, for artists, not just for artists, but like our presence has been allowed us to connect with brands, do so much with other people also. I want to do things that are gonna impact people's lives. You know, the documentary will be informative, but like, I want to, with Slick on Life, I want to literally like move forward with the technology so it impacts people's lives further. So
would you give someone the footage to do something, and then you just come in as a curator, maybe?
yeah, but that's what my life is about. You know, my life is about, if someone is hungry enough, I'll give you everything. You know,
So good.
I'll equip people with the tools. I'll give them the machines. I've got the machines to edit. You know, like, if my team is available and they're not going to cost, you know, I literally will offer. I'll offer whatever they need to put it together. And
Let's
for
get it
me,
done, dog.
it will be
You don't
done.
have to do it. You don't have to do it. You can think IT, you can think future, but I think for the sake of SA hip hop, this thing really needs to be shot and told. Because you got far back, dog. When it comes to the information that you have, it goes way, way, way back. Even Osmic, like you said, that's incredible. A mixture of you guys together on one platform talking SA hip hop with the amount of history and footage that you guys have. It can be the biggest thing online. It doesn't even have to be on TV. So please get it done, bro. You don't have to get your hands dirty or do anything. Just make sure it gets done. I'm asking on behalf of all the people involved in SA hip hop.
I'm gonna shout out like Showmax now. I'm gonna shout out Netflix now. I'm gonna shout out DSTV now. To do
Shut
this
them all
right,
up, dude. Make
to do
sure.
this right, we need like the money to get the right researchers, to get the right people to edit. Because another thing also, you know how important this documentary is. As much as I'm saying it's not what I do, it won't impact people's lives. It's important because it's telling the story of our game. So it has to be
Exactly.
done right. You know what I mean? So it needs the
Exactly.
money to be done right. So I can have the footage, and Osmo can, but if we don't have the expertise of a guy like Udebza, you know, who's doing all these crazy
Yeah.
adverts, if we don't have
Yeah.
those guys sitting, and those guys are busy, you know, those guys are doing TV ads, they doing TV shows, you know, they busy, you know. But how do I get those guys sitting in? Because I want the best guys to do it. You know what I mean? That's how
It has to
important
be
it
the
is.
best
You
guys.
know what I mean? It can't be
Yeah.
guys who are, yeah, no, now I was editing video, you know, music. No, we need the best guys to do this, who'll tell the narrative, and all we doing, we just consulting and just going, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
really what we need to get it right,
Let's
you know.
get it
But we
done,
need,
bro.
huh?
If all, how many people, there's too many, if all 1,000 people have to sit in this conference room, or obviously not a room, if it's a hall, and we put Netflix on one chair and we interview them for 1 hour and we make sure that this thing gets put together. It has to be put together, bro. It has to be. There's no choice here. It's like a dog, you've got a lot of work ahead of you. You know what I mean? Just
But
make sure it gets done, please, bro.
but you know, here's my thing. Here's what I was thinking, and I mean, we're not gonna put out anybody like there with the streaming platforms and all that, or anybody. But I go, you know, at sometimes some of these streaming platforms, even channels, they always wanna kind of obviously build a momentum in the market, but sometimes they need to also do something that literally makes people go, I remember that was brought to me by this guy. And one time when I was thinking of that, I was thinking about like, however people want to see it, I was thinking about Pro Kids Life, you know what I mean? And I was thinking that, you know, what this guy has done from SOHO and how he's literally, obviously, you know, buzzing them always rapping in vernacular, but how he's really taken this thing and put it to a point where a KO could pick it up and go, I'm going to make it better this way. A Questa can pick it up and go, I'm going to make it better this way. A touchline, even a touchline can go, you know what I mean? Now, I'm not underestimating what Squatter Camp has done. I'm just moving it from us. I'm saying like pro. If you, and the fact that the pros passed also. I said, if you could tell that story of how this guy has impacted that, and you become that channel that brings that, the person that's going to watch that is going to go, oh shit, that's, I mean, you got Baby Dean yesterday saying he doesn't know half those joints that were played.
Mm.
I'm just saying. And Baby Dean,
Yeah,
literally, if he doesn't know those joints from 6 years ago, what does Baby Dean know about Squatter Camp? And whose fault is that? It's
yeah,
not
for
his
sure.
fault. What does he know about Pro?
Definitely,
But if like Baby
definitely.
Dean had to watch that whole thing and then see how it connected to KO, who he probably knows, and then see how it connected to Touchline, you know, then all of a
Yeah,
sudden he kind of goes, fuck. Now we
yeah,
need, like I think broadcasters need to think about like now touching intimate or sentimental things about audiences, and not only think about, oh, we need to have a series about this, or we need to have a, because there you could have a dope series, but
yeah.
yo, if you literally tell these stories, bro, people are really gonna have you in their hearts. And these are the stories that like a lot of these production guys go, that's not the numbers. They don't want to put in the work for that because that's the real research. You know what I mean?
I
Even
think, I
YouTube.
think, I think they'll definitely buy into it. There's way too much spotlight right now on SA hip hop, and like you're saying, even the streaming numbers from the kids, everybody that's involved now, like it's massive. It hasn't been this big ever before. You know what I mean? So no, I'm talking about online. I'm talking about online. I'm not talking. I'm not talking the game as a whole. I think the numbers are big enough for us now to actually have a story where everything started to where it ended up being now.
Bro, but you know what? Remove hip hop aside. I don't want to be political, you know? It's like the more the black man doesn't know how they where they are, the more the black man doesn't respect what they have.
Mm.
It's like Indians, Jewish, all of them, they respect how they got where they are through documentaries,
Hmm.
through books, through non. So this is not a. I mean, like let's just use. Let's be stupid right now, man. Give me the story of Kalawa. I mean, leave that. Give me the story of Arthur. Give me the story of Mdu. No one knows that shit.
So we don't want that with hip hop. That's why I'm saying it needs to be done.
But you see, here's the thing though. We need to get to a point where, let me give an example. If like a person of another culture who knows how to restore their thing literally becomes big, if they make money off like the white guy, like Elvis Presley, those guys literally will invest in the story of Elvis Presley so it's told, because their money is not only on the money Elvis Presley makes, right? If if they make those white guys, if they make money off us, we are bonus. So if like the black guy can make money easy, but I don't have, it's not my job to conserve the black story though. It's not my job. So we need, that's why for me it's so important to really get Slick on Live right, because I need to be able to have the cash to come and go, yo, I want to tell the story about this pro kid, about this AKA, because about this Casper, because that's, kids need to watch it even if they don't know it, because I'm watching a Miles Davis documentary, a Bob Marley documentary. I don't know them. They never they had the impact in my life, but I've heard these songs. You think today when people hear a Squatter Cam song in the club, they don't know us. But it's like the Miles Davis song that I heard I don't know him. But imagine if someone had to connect that club song you heard to, this is where this shit comes from. And this is why it's connected to you jumping in a club with the Uncle Party Time right now. You know, so because black people are not allowed to trace or haven't had the power to trace their history, and this is really the reason why I started Slick on Live, is that I wanted to say we need to tell our stories, but like it needs back. It needs the business to be built. You need to have money. I need to literally say, I don't need to do a kind campaign for 2 or 3 months because I'm investing in telling the story. And this story, I know so and so could possibly buy it, but I can't.
But I'm saying you will get it now. I've got my story. I've got my facts, and I know how you're gonna get it. Do you understand? It's obviously something we can sit down and we can talk about. But people want it. People definitely want it. If you go onto Netflix now, check out how many documents are about hip hop. I've been watching stuff from the 70s, 80s, like stuff that I didn't even know. The Quincy Jones thing, it's crazy, like stuff that you don't know. People are looking for this kind of information right now. And I'm telling you, someone will pay for it. We just need to make sure we get it out right. And you've got the information, bro. If we have to give it to them and say, okay, guys, handle it, and you go in once, twice a month or whatever, just to make sure it's running smoothly, but it needs to get done. That's my point. And we can't wait for someone to knock on any of your doors, you or Osmic or anybody that's involved in hip hop right now. We got to go out and get it, you know?
Can I be honest with you, Dean? All the footage is there. From me, I know someone who's got footage that's got even Osmic's footage. Everything is there. Everything is there. I know the guy, and there's a guy who's actually ready and willing to cut this thing. I just need the money. You know, I just need the money to literally go, yo, cut this thing. And not just for him to cut, but he needs to go, yo, I need to maybe get something from Cape Town. Let me go to Ready D. Let me go to Youngster. I need the money for that person to go and travel and get that stuff. So that's all I need. But I've got the person, I've got the content, and obviously Osmic is not going to be resistant to it. Neither am I. And so it's all there. We just need the cash.
Cool. I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure this thing happens as well. There's no ways this thing's not gonna happen, bro. As long as I got the go ahead from you or whatever to speak to people, we'll talk about this after that. It needs to be done. It really needs to be done. It's not even a choice right now. Let's get it, bro.
Straight beam. Yo, man, D, thanks, man. You know, shout out to you. People don't know that you're a part of an underground hip hop rap group back in the day. Jeez. You know.
We just took it way, way back. We took it way, way back. That's crazy.
And when I started seeing who was behind pop artists, I said, that underground nigga. Nah, not that nigga.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. We go way, way back.
Because I never even knew you, but like you were always like ice grilling. I was like, yo, he must hate us because we commercial and shit, you know. So when I saw who was, I was like, that underground nigga. Well.
That's crazy. The amount of calls I still get from like the OGs. Remember D-Boy? D-Boy used to DJ. Yeah, D-Boy hit me up like yesterday or something. We just have a lot of catching up to do, man. I think it's real. Like, I even forget about those days. Imagine last night. if I played Kachacha, people would have been like, "What's this now?" You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The music goes way, way, way back, man. So like, yeah, it's real, man.
What was the rap crew again? What's their name?
Landmines.
Ah, shit, Landmines. Oh shit. Were you Dimplez
Yeah.
also in Landmines?
Yeah, I already started my DJ career, but I was like, it was early days, very, very early days. I think it was like 2004.
So, I mean, your name, did you name yourself Dimplez even then?
Yeah, I was already DJ Dimplez, by the way. But you didn't know that. Nobody ever knows the artist DJ. If you think about it, people actually never talk about the artist DJ. So if people knew I was DJ Dimplez in the underground scene, it wouldn't have worked, you know? Probably would have had to change my name again. Well, change it back to what it was. At some point, someone called me Tombstone. That would have worked better, no? DJ Tombstone.
Cool. You can stay with Dimplez. Landmines was already a complex name.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Yo,
Yo, Nyams. People are going back here. Yo. Yeah, man. All love, bro. Thank you so much.
Peace be. Shout out me.
Shout out to you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Broadcast live